The headlines: Maria Agard issues ultimatum to the BLP. Family members of murdered St. Philip men speak out. And the top two will contest road tennis's $12,000 prize. Welcome to Nation News for Wednesday, December the 2nd, 2015. Thanks so much for joining us. Lawyers for Maria Agard have given the National Council of the Barbados Labour Party 7 days to reverse its decision to expel the Christchurch West MP. Failing that, Queen's Counsel Hal Gollop told the news conference that the matter will be contested in court.
We could take the action. It is practice nowadays that a certain protocol has to be followed. And I have delivered to the Secretary of the Barbados Labour Party a tocsin to that effect.
Speaking at her Strathclyde dental office, Dr. Agard said she was seeking justice and more Barbadians should turn to the courts when they feel they have been treated unfairly.
We have enshrined in our laws recourse to the court as a provision. And though we may be a people who have been court averse in the past, the reality is that as we enter into the 21st century, there must be a change. We must be able to appreciate the rights and freedoms that we have. We must be prepared to be bold. We must be prepared if we feel that we have been violated, that an injustice has been served upon us, to challenge that injustice in the court of law for arbitration.
The first-time MP is confident about her future in politics. She said it is possible to serve the country without being closely affiliated with a political party.
There are many people who have given yeoman service to Barbados who were never affiliated with a political party. And inasmuch as I loved and continue to love the Barbados Labour Party, I am as certain that my political future is as healthy as the day I conceptualized that I would offer my service to my country. As to whether I am going anywhere, Maria Agard is not impetuous, neither is she rash. I intend to meet with my constituents and my supporters. And after the fullest possible consultation, we shall collectively make a determination as to where my political future ought to take me.
Two St. Philip families have been telling Nation News that they remain heavy with grief after the shooting deaths that left an ugly mark on the 49th anniversary of the nation's independence. Dwayne Burgess of Marleyvale, St. Philip, was the first victim, gunned down on the fringes of the St. Philip Carnival on Monday. His cousin Sheldon Gittins described Dwayne as a first-class freestyle diver.
I would have preferred to get this morning to hear that the seat took him than to hear for he to die from a gunshot. It would be more expected for me to die of a gunshot wound for the company that I just keep than my cousin that no wrong. He ain't associated with nothing of the such. And if he was, I would say.
Mr. Giddens has been thinking about how to prevent such violence. He's advising parents against buying toy guns for their children.
And all the talk about people buying guns and getting used guns and what's not, that may be true. But if I'm infatuated buying a gun, I don't want any. But the infatuation starts from mothers buying guns from the toy stores. It starts from there.
Shane Nurse was the second murder victim when he got up to close the gate at their Ruby Tenantry home after an exchange of words with some men who were drinking. His brother Troy witnessed the shooting.
From way here to take off the drinks off of the car, as the guy walked with the bottles on the car again, all the drink bottles. So it seems then they're just a little upset because people speak to them who doing foolishness. I mean, the man just opened up fire upon me and my brothers.
Did he tell you anything?
He didn't tell me the last words because I the more focusing too on the other fellas that run off, right? But I understand that he was even stabbing up my brother after he shooting.
Tourism Week has been launched with a call from a ministerial aide for all hands to be on deck to revive Speightstown. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Senator Irene Sandiford Garner, said all businesses and community stakeholders need to play a greater role. The latest project earmarked for the town is Speightstown Sizzling on December the 12th. This comes on the heels of a highly successful Speightstown Alive in August. A medical team from China could be coming to work at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital early next year, according to Chinese Ambassador Wang Ke. She was speaking during an official welcome reception to the art piece, the Chinese hospital ship. Health Minister John Boy said a number of Barbadians have received mammograms, CAT scans, x-rays, ultrasounds and cardiograms on board the ship. A University of the West Indies teaching fellow is putting the blame for high youth unemployment on structural deficiencies in education. Dr. Jonathan Lashley of Cayfield said there is a clear disparity between youth and adult employment, even when economies in the Caribbean are performing well.
There's two areas of concern: school-to-work transition and irrelevance of skills to employers' needs. Some of the recommended solutions is to embed that generic instruction in areas related to soft and hard skills required in the workplace: people skills, IT skills, leadership skills. We do very little research on, we say we do research on what the needs of employers are, but we don't do any extensive surveys. It's only in Jamaica and in Grenada have we seen surveys on employers' needs. What are important to employers? A work ethic. We need to unpack that to figure out what that actually means, but it's extremely important to employers. Number one, that we want a good work ethic, timeliness, all of these sort of things. However, when they then have to rate those school leavers, what's the lowest rating? School, the work ethic.
Leicester Vaughan Secondary has received a check for $1,000 for having the largest number of registered participants by a school in this year's Nation Funathlon. The nation's senior marketing communications officer, Janelle Ward of this chair, visited the school on Tuesday to make the presentation and offer congratulations.
The walk this year featured a 10K as well as a 5K, and the school would have mostly completed the 10K together to win this prize this morning. They won a trophy as well as $1,000 in cash, and that was the presentation that we did this morning. The students themselves are very excited, and we hope that the funds raised will go back towards the athletics program. We also wanted to congratulate them because not only did they come out and support the cause, but they've been advocates for the movement of ending violence, which is what the theme was this year: Shine Bright against violence. And the school has certainly taken that theme on board, and they are honoring us with ensuring that that is something that they practice as well as live.
In sport, the West Indies have been floundering against a bunch of cricketing colts at the start of their tour of Australia. Rain stopped play with the West Indies on 154 for 6 against the Cricket Australia 11, 5 of whose 6 members bowled an attack on the first day have a combined first-class experience of 3 matches. Darren Bravo is not older than 46 in company with Carlos Brathwaite. The first test starts next Wednesday. The island's 2 best road tennis players will duke it out for the grand prize of $12,000 in the final of the Massey United Clash of the Titans tournament. Number 1 player Mark Venom Griffith and number 2 Julian Michael Jackson White will contest the final on December the 13th at the National Stadium. And finally, another sporting item. A football game in Mauritania's Super Cup was bizarrely sent to a penalty shootout in the 63rd minute of play after the country's president allegedly grew tired with the match. President Mohammed Ould Abdel Aziz was said to have become impatient with the tempo of the game, which was held at a 1-1 deadlock. And instead of waiting out the second half and possibly extra time, he simply ordered that the 2 teams skip the remaining minutes. Upon being given the instructions, the referee brought the match to an abrupt halt, much to the bemusement of the players and fans, before immediately sending the game to be decided on spot kicks. The league's footballing federation has, however, denied any claims of the president's involvement, claiming that the decision to cut short the game was due to unspecified organizational issues. And that's Nation News for Wednesday. For more news, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And remember to pick up your Daily Nation on Thursday or subscribe to our e-paper.